Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Monday Motivation Podcast, No More Excuses. This is your host, Sandi, Ballard. And again, as usual, connect with me on LinkedIn. Why haven't you connected with me on LinkedIn? It's actually pretty interesting to see the people who are at least viewing my website or my LinkedIn profile. But thank you. Thanks for sharing. And if you haven't shared, why not? Come on. Follow me on Twitter, slballard13. I always post questions, send out articles or post articles, and keep you thinking throughout the week about the topic. And it's been quite a few weeks of perceptions. So, don't forget the Instagram at Taskmaster Sandi. Whew, we are solidly into the fourth quarter, aren't we? Yes, this year, 2017, has been quite the whirlwind, at least for me. I don't know about you. The fourth quarter tends to fly by on its own, with, the final progress check for the year, to setting up goals for the upcoming year, to really examining why you are where you are in regards to your goals, career, business, life. Then add in the holidays and it makes your head spin, doesn't it? Well, hopefully my kitty's head will be out of a cone soon. She's old and has a little weird ear thing. But right now, I'm sure for some people it's overwhelming. It can make them shut down, thinking about all that stuff. Thinking about where the year went, what's next. Shit, I haven't done this. But looking at what you have done as well. And how many of you have said, there's always next year, right? Well, the last couple of weeks I've talked about perceptions, and I've had you thinking about your perceptions, other people's perceptions, your perceptions of other people's perceptions, and that'll make your head spin in itself. What haven't you done, said, admitted to, tried because of them, and why, and what can you do to change them? Well, there's only 7 weeks left in 2017. It's crazy. So all the answers, the things that you've come up with the reviewing your perceptions and the whys and what you can do about them, all of them point to you getting out of your comfort zone. And they all should show you the why you're even thinking those thoughts in the first place, and why for the lack of progress. Why you haven't achieved a goal, reached the success you desire and deserve. What did you come up with? Perhaps you need to go back and listen to podcast 83, then 84, and come back here and do this. So review those. So if you've not, I suggest doing that. I recently had a client not show up for a monthly group meeting, and finally got a text, and it said, "I'm a loser." And if you're listening, you know who you are. But we've all had those moments. It's, she said, it's easy to come when I'm not doing well and have things to report. And when I'm not, I don't come. She doesn't attend. Her perception is that she's a loser because she didn't accomplish her huge ass laundry list of to-dos, her high demands she puts on herself. She's concerned, I guess, with what people will think if she doesn't come with this checked off list. But the groups aren't really about just reporting. They're about support and being there to help each other and saying, you know what? I've done that. It happens. She's hugely successful. But in her mind, her perception is if she doesn't come with that checked off list, she's not successful. Well, it's a bunch of crap. And if people don't think she's successful anyway, then you don't want to be around them anyway, right? So having her look at why she feels that way, why she thinks that way, and yes, what she can do to change that perception of herself and her perception of other people's perception is huge. And looking at what didn't she get done, why. The monthly groups, like I said, aren't just a platform for success and reporting. They're here to find support when you don't, when you need it the most. And yes, to be challenged a little. But looking at that list of stuff, what is not happening and why. And what are those things on the list? Maybe the month before everything was freaking easy. Who knows? So many people, introverts, extroverts, big goals, small goals, get overwhelmed. Doesn't matter who you are. And when they don't do or perform, the overwhelm sets in, and it comes from fear. Perception of what someone else might think, and it's usually not true. Like I said in the last podcast, it's bullshit. The thing is, what I suggest quarterly progress checks. Setting the goals in the fourth quarter is so you can be as prepared as you can to understand why things are and are not working and make changes. If you wait the whole year, you're going to be in for a surprise, good and bad. And it's okay to have a downtime, I guess. You hear 1 step forward and 3 steps back. I mean, that happens to everybody. The biggest thing is you just got to take that freaking step, right? And then take another one. And then after you get 3 steps back, get up and do it again. It's like when you try to lose weight and one way in, you've gained a pound. You're like, screw it, I'm done. What? I'm going to go dive into a bucket of my French fries, which would actually be amazing. But, instead of figuring out why and saying it's okay, and the next time getting back up and doing it again. I mean, there's moments. We all have them. You just got to make adjustments and move forward. And like I mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, this is the fourth quarter and it is flying by. So you have 7 weeks left in the year. Are you going to throw in the towel? You're going to say, screw it, there's always next year? Or will you stop feeling sorry for yourself and in the same breath, give yourself a break and kick this shit into gear? Right? How do you want the year to end? Full of regret or happy you gave it your all? Email me, sballard@growingforward.biz. Tell me one thing you will change, you will not give up on, and why. And if you can't figure it out, or you want to say, screw it, there's always next year, then email me, sballard@growingforward.biz, and we will do a strategy session. So if you can't figure it out, get off your ass and do a strategy session with me, and we'll figure it out. Okay? Let's figure out what's stopping you. Have a great week. Cheers.